Hey guys, welcome back. In this series of creating a core test automation framework, I think we cannot be complete without touching a very important topic, and that is of test reporting and test monitoring, right? Now, many of you might be familiar of the concept of test reporting, but test monitoring is something which I've seen some people doing, but not many people doing. And in this, I want to share with you like how uh, test monitoring can be a very powerful tool that you can add to any test automation framework, maybe API framework, mobile automation, UI automation, does not matter. And in this particular session, I do not want to like go into the details of how it is being implemented or the in and outs of it. That is something that I can cover in the next videos. But in this video, I just want to make some basic comparisons between why you should consider implementing test monitoring into your framework rather than implementing a test reporting in your framework. So without any further delays, let's go and look into some of the details of what you're seeing onto your screen. So on your screen, I'm using Elastic as a monitoring system. There are multiple monitoring systems like Elastic, Datadog, and few others. In this case, I'm using a cloud instance of Elastic. And as you can see, I have already published some test run results into this particular instance. You can see that, we have data from 22nd, January, 23rd, January 24th, January 25th, 26th, and so on. Some of the information that you see on screen is about the test run. So for example, you can filter like, in each run, how many test cases ran, name of the project, name of the test class, test name. You can see also like how much time each test have taken, which tests a little bit slower than others. So like I'm flagging all the test cases which are taking more than 5 seconds, with this alarm clock. And I'm marking the test cases which are passed with green, failed as a cross mark. If something fails, I'm also marking it with a bugs symbol. And I'm also providing information about triggered by, like who or what triggered this particular test case. Getting just triggered by information of a person is not that useful, but once you start integrating your test frameworks into CI, it could be interesting to see what triggered your test. Like it could be a PR, it could be an external event, it could be a cron job schedule, and it would be interesting to also gather that kind of information. Now let's see what typically happens, with a test reporting framework. So if I go to Windows 1, and if I already have the command here, maven clean site. If I run maven clean site, it will basically run all the tests, and it will create a snapshot test report, something that you might be already familiar with. So I'm using here Surefire reports, which are like very plain vanilla kind of reports, not too fancy, but good enough example to prove the use case that I want to show. Some people also use Allure reports. There could be other reports as well that you can use. But in a sense, all the reports are snapshot reports. What I mean by that, if I, let's say, go back and if I refresh this, let's say if I open this report only gives me information about this particular test run. It says there were 16 tests in total, there was one failure, everything else was good. And then you can see information about test classes, test name, etc., etc. What it does not tell you is if a certain test has failed. If this test has failed now, has it also failed in the past as well? Like, is it a flaky test case? Has it always failed in the past? This is the kind of information that you can only derive from trends. And to give an example, like these are like some of the runs. So in the previous run also 16 passed, 1 failed. But in the previous to previous run, actually when I ran 16 test cases, there were 2 failures. And there's no way for me to identify if which test case was a flaky one. Like in this particular case, I have created a flaky test case, which fails with an odd timestamp and passes with an even timestamp. But I can easily find out that sort of information from a monitoring system because, let's say if I look into the failed test case and if I just search on the test case name, I could see that this test case failed on Jan 25th, but it passed on Jan 23rd. And if I have, I don't know, maybe 1 month old data or 2 months old data, I can see if this test case has always been failing. So is it like an application bug or is it like a test framework issue? Or if this test case has been passing at some times or failing at some times, in which case either it could be a flaky application behavior or it could be a flaky test case behavior, right? So I could derive some insights out of all the runs information which are available in a monitoring system, which I do not have available in a plain snapshot kind of thing. Let me remove this filter. The other benefit that you have in a test monitoring system that you do not have in a reporting system is a reporting. You normally get a report ready after all the tests have finished. But with the monitoring system, if you have, I don't know, 100 test cases, 200 test cases, it will start publishing all those test results here on real time, right? And then you can see, oh, the tests are running, how many tests have passed, how many tests have failed. And this URL could be accessible to all your stakeholders in your company. So they could see at any given point of time in any location, they could see what's going on with test execution, right? So this is also pretty cool. What you can also do is you can derive some pretty good insights from all this trends information that you do not have in a snapshot report. So for example, if you go to a dashboard, here you can see a dashboard which says in terms of test classes, how many test cases are passed, how many are failing. So at this moment, there's only one test class which is failures. All the test classes are good. Let's say if I want to create a new visualization, maybe I want to see how many test cases are triggered by. So I want to create a table and I want to see how many test cases are triggered by different sort of events. So in this case, it's only, just two events. My username, one from my Windows machine, one from my Mac machine. But imagine if you could see triggers from a cron job, triggers from a PR, triggers from external repositories. You could see which external repositories are triggering this test. You can see all that information. And then you can save all those results with the title such as triggered by frequency, right? This is what you can, or maybe not just frequency, you can trigger it by count. So you can actually create a lot of meaningful dashboards, which can give a lot of insight into how your tests have been performing over a period of time that you cannot find out from, snapshots, which are only useful at that instance, and there's no value in them, the moment you run another instance. Like, I hope you'll agree with me that nobody goes and looks back into previous test runs once they are finished. But with a tool like Elastic or Datadog, you can have insight on all your runs, like not just into 2 weeks, but like into months and years. And you can see so in 2 months, not 2 months from now, but 2 months ago, update. So you can get all this information in the past, and you can see maybe in one particular month you have too many PRs, so too many tests got triggered. Maybe in 1 month, there was a cool down period, there were no PRs, no tests triggered, and you can see all that activity in front of your eyes, which is something that typically is lost, with all the snapshots kind of reporting. So I hope this makes you interested enough to learn more about test monitoring tools. What I will do is I will start by showing you how to install Elastic and Kibana on your local machine. Then I will also show you how to publish your results from a test framework into Elastic and Kibana on localhost, and then gradually we will move towards showing you how you can connect to a cloud instance, how you can connect with API keys, using authentication and all that stuff in upcoming videos. But I hope this video really makes you interested to see that a test monitoring system is much better than a test reporting system. So if you find this interesting, I'll see you guys in the next video, in which we will see how we can install Elastic and Kibana on your local machine. Right? So see you guys in the next video, and thank you for hanging with me. Cheers. Bye-bye.